Hello there my fellow holotable heroes, and welcome to another Conquest video guide. You will be able to find this and all my other Conquest guides on my SWGOH Life website. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out, there will be a link in the description below. In today's video I'll be showing you some of the teams I use here in Sector 4 that I used to make good progress towards both sector and global feats. Speaking of feats, let's have a look what's waiting for us ahead in Sector 4. So we have to win 14 battles with a full squad of Inquisitors. We have to inflict evasion down 40 times, inflict armor shred 20 times. So for evasion down and armor shred, I will show you one team that can cheese them basically pretty much almost in one, while in 2 battles for armor shreds, but you will need to come across a Hux node. More about it later. And then we have to defeat 50 enemies with Imperial units. So it's a pretty straightforward, again, feats, like nothing too crazy. You don't need to get too creative. As long as you got solid data discs, you should be good to go here. Speaking of data disc, let me show you what I'm rocking here. So I've got Stacking Fervor, Grey Amplify Agony, Grey Unstable Decelerator, I got the Ruthless Swiftness, Grey Volatile Accelerator. So you can see RNG hasn't blessed me really with any green or blue data discs, but at least I have the base there, so I'll take Grey data disc over no data disc. And I also have another Ruthless Swiftness and then Defensive Formation as well for some protection recovery whenever we attack out of turn. Okay, so let's first go through the Inquisitors teams. There are probably like 3 different full Inquisitor teams you can put together. Obviously, the basic one is with these guys. So 5th Brotherly is usually a good option. And then just try to pick a team you can take down. As long as you got Amplify Agony, especially if you got 2 or 3, as soon as you get a turn, obviously you'll be doing so much damage because these guys just put out so many debuffs. It's not even funny. So there you go, Jenna and Anakin there just died from damage over time. Anyways, make sure when your 8th brother does get a turn to target somebody with his special here that has 5 or more stacks of purge, so that you land that armor shred, because remember we have to get 20 armor shreds in here. There we go. I'll just go ahead, finish Ahsoka, and then we can move on to our next Inquisitor squad. If you have Grand Inquisitor, obviously he will be a better lead than 5th brother. So I've got Padme. Maybe Padme not the best team to go up against just because of Statfast Retribution, but I'm like, let's just give a go anyways. There you go, finishing off their Anakin. Luckily we have our turn meter train rolling, so they won't get a turn. Finishing off there, let's see. Unfortunately, I finished them off too quickly, so I wasn't able to actually land an armor shred there with 8th brother. And then obviously if you do have Reva with Grand Inquisitor, I mean, they basically wipe out any teams very quickly, just because you start with 6 stacks of purge and you can get your things rolling. Let's go ahead, get rid of base because he's taunting. Perfect. I'm just going to go ahead here and I guess, yeah, sure, let's go ahead, Daze Pow, so he doesn't get any bright ideas here. Maybe get a stun as well, trying to avoid using AoEs. I don't want them to die off too quickly, so I got a chance to land an armor shred there with 8th brother. And then I was like, oh, which ability? Yeah, so the middle ability here from Reva as well lands an armor shred. So if you're running this team, you can get 2 armor shreds a battle, which doesn't sound a whole lot, but remember we have to win 14 battles with Inquisitors, and then as well you'll probably have to do about 10 battles with Troopers as well. And Gideon got an armor shred, so just between, even if you get 1 armor shred per battle with each one of these teams, you will very comfortably complete the armor shred feat. So there's no need to cheese it, but obviously you can, which I'll show you later. Moving on to the next faction in Sector 4, which is Imperial Troopers. You can kind of put 2 trooper teams together. So obviously the default one is General Veers, including Gideon in there for the armor shred. And then, these guys can take out a lot of enemies. Now, if you're struggling sometimes, it's good to bring in Short Trooper or, maybe even Malak if with Voluntary Guard for the pre-taunt, so that your troopers eventually do get a turn, that they don't get steamed roll. But once your troopers get a turn, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward affair. Again, make sure you land that armor shred with Gideon, and then it's, onto the races. Turn meter train is flowing here, even aided a little bit by my Ruthless Swiftness data disc that I have equipped. And the second one, if you do have Iden built up as well, she works great. in Conquest actually with Amplify Agony, just because no matter the gear, no matter the speed of Iden, she will get 100% turn meter. You can get assists going, all these debuffs, Amplify Agony, and as well if you had then the Ruthless Swiftness, it fuels your turn meter train. So even though your guys are slow from raw speed, they can get in there quickly. And now we have to take care of some of the global feats. So obviously we do have Malgus. You can also include there obviously Bastila and Sith Assassin, because both of these ladies, they do have evasion down, which is obviously one of the feats here in Sector 4. They're Basti on her fear ability, and then Sith Assassin on her basic. So just go ahead, get rid of these Jedi quickly, but you know, try to stall as long as you can. But once you do have Amplify Agony obviously equipped, stalling becomes very challenging, but it's okay. We'll just keep going here. Let's go ahead, drain Yoda so he doesn't get any bright ideas here about one-shotting my Malak or something. There we go, draining there as well, Chiari Mundi. Okay, and whenever Sith Assassin gets turned, just use her basic to land evasion down. And then another global feat, as you've probably seen from my previous videos, that's what I've been doing for Cal Kestis, the kills there for the global feat. Jedi Master Luke with Watt. If you have voluntary Vanguard data disc equipped, you don't need Watt in here actually. You could just bring in another Jedi, or even maybe Seer, just, you know, to also maybe try and speed up the process of these battles. But otherwise, you know, pretty safe warfare. Keep using inherited teachings over on Cal. Try to time hits that he's the one defeating, that they don't die from damage over times, because obviously that will not count. And then we've got another global feat, the Wookiees one. So I've been really surprised with Tarfful. He's doing great stuff. And look at this, Karf is gone, Canderous is gone. I'm like, what's happening here? All this damage reflection is really tearing them apart, to be honest. There we go, Mission died as well. And just down to Zalbar. I'm gonna use basic here. Remember, 3PO and Chewie lands down, but as you can see, it actually got stuck. The game froze here. All the buttons disappear. As you see, I tried to forfeit. It just got stuck. I had to force close the game. I'm like, okay, let's try this again. Hopefully it doesn't freeze, just to see is there like a general issue here, or is just a one-time bug I encountered. Kendra is just disappearing. There we go. Karf will as well there go down in a moment. Oh, he got cleansed. Oh, there he goes. Oh man, Tarfful is really fun to use here with his data discs, all this damage reflection, triggering effect of Amplify Agony and things like that, and Volatile Accelerator. Any enemy with an AoE just kind of get almost instantly wiped. So there you go. Definitely, like, you know, Wookiees, I thought it would be difficult, but it's getting easy as well here. And as mentioned before, there is a way to actually cheese evasion downs in a single battle and then armor shred in 2 battles. You will have to be on the lookout for the Hux node, because they have Caloran unmasked in there, and that's how we'll be able to cheese it. And then you're gonna bring up your CLS squad, and then for the 5th bring in Sabine, because she's got an armor shred and she's a rebel, so she'll benefit from the turn meter train that Luke provides for your rebel allies. So first thing is just one-shot Hux, just get him out there so you can start gaining bonus turn meter. Sith Trooper won't like that, that's okay. And then we're just going to go ahead here, switch stance so we can get around the taunt. Take out Sith Trooper. We go, let's go ahead, dispel that, drop that armor shred. There we go, so we got armor shred number 1. Let's go ahead, finish off the pilot, finish off First Order Stormtrooper, and now you just hit autoplay and let the battle time out, and you will get a lot of armor shreds. I don't know, we'll see how many I got in there, but essentially what's happening, all these debuffs that we are applying with Volatile Accelerator and Amplify Agony are constantly healing Caloran Mask up, because he's immune to health-based damage, so he's basically taking no damage from Amplify Agony while being healed up by 8% of his health. That's why he becomes unkillable. There you go. I think there was 16 armor shreds on Kylo, 1 armor shred on Sith Trooper, so I got 17 armor shreds out of this battle, and obviously plenty of evasion downs. So definitely, if you do want to cheese the armor shred and evasion down in a couple of battles, be on the lookout for this Hux team and unload your CLS, and then you don't have to worry about at all anymore about getting those 2 feats done. Then it's just a case of getting your Imperial Troopers and Inquisitor battles done. As you can see, I've done already 31 kills with my Imperial Troopers. between obviously Veers and Iden, so I used 2 teams, and then I did 6 Inquisitor their battles as well out of 14. So definitely it's going to be an easy one from here on out, just obviously farming data crons on the boss node with Imperial Troopers and Inquisitors. Alright guys, hopefully this video was useful and helpful. Let me know in the comments below or on my Discord server. Hopefully I'll see you in Sector 4 mini and final boss video, but until then, have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.